They said a photo can capture a soul, but what if it never stopped capturing? Every time someone looked at this old Polaroid, another face appeared. First strangers, then the dead, then, finally, someone still alive. His name was Evan Cross. And this is the story of the photograph that refused to stop developing. Welcome back to Silent Scream, where every story you hear was found in the dark. If you're returning, thank you for keeping the lights off with us. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe before the story ends, because sometimes what's waiting after the credits is worse than the story itself. Tonight's case is called Frozen Smile, a story about obsession, photographs, and the moment you realize the picture is looking back. Keep your screen close and don't blink. Evan Cross didn't believe in hauntings. He believed in photographs, in the way they froze moments, trapping them like insects in amber. That was his passion, his small obsession. So when he stumbled across an old Polaroid camera on an online auction site, the one that came with a photo still inside, he couldn't resist. The listing was vague: estate sale, camera includes undeveloped photo, do not expose to light. That warning was the hook. When the package arrived, the camera was heavier than it should have been. A faint smell of mildew and chemicals clung to it. Evan worked in low light, carefully ejecting the photograph from the compartment. The film hissed faintly, old emulsion resisting time. Slowly, a picture began to form. A family of 5 standing in front of a faded yellow house, all smiling. But as the image clarified, he noticed something odd. Behind the father's shoulder, near the back porch, stood a shadowy outline of another figure. No face, no detail, just presence. The longer he looked, the clearer it became. A smile, wide, cracked, and human, stretched where the shadow's mouth should be. And then the smile moved. Evan blinked hard, breath catching in his throat. The image hadn't really moved, had it? Just a trick of the eyes, he told himself. He'd seen it happen before. Low resolution, old film, degraded pigments. The brain filled in the blanks. He placed the photo on his desk under a lamp. The shadows looked deeper now, the family frozen in cheerful ignorance. The figure behind them lingered, like an infection spreading through the paper. He turned off the light and went to bed. That night, he dreamt of the same house, the peeling yellow paint, the slanted porch, a woman humming softly from somewhere inside. Her voice was hollow, like someone singing from underwater. When Evan turned to look for her, the hum stopped, replaced by the sound of a camera shutter. He woke up drenched in sweat. The Polaroid sat upright on his nightstand. He hadn't left it there. The next morning, the photo looked different. Now there were 6 people in it. A new face, faint but visible, had appeared near the edge. A gaunt woman with sunken eyes, half-formed, like a photo mid-development. Her expression wasn't neutral. She was looking straight at him. Evan swore under his breath. What the hell? He tried to compare it with a scan on his computer. The scanned version, the one from yesterday, clearly showed only 5 people. The 6th was new, added overnight. That was impossible. He leaned closer, examining the surface. The glossy texture felt slightly tacky, as if the photo hadn't fully dried even after decades. His fingers came away cold. That night, the humming returned. It wasn't in his head this time. The sound drifted through the apartment, low and rhythmic, the same eerie tune from his dream. He followed it down the hall, bare feet whispering against the wooden floor. The humming led him to his study, to the desk where the Polaroid lay. Except now, the photograph wasn't lying flat. It stood upright again, perfectly balanced, as though someone had placed it there. And from the darkness within the picture's background, between the cracks of the yellow house, the faintest glint of teeth shone through. He turned away, heart hammering. "It's just old chemicals, light distortion." He said it out loud, as if the sound of reason could push back the madness. The next day, he tried to get rid of it. He slipped the Polaroid into an envelope and mailed it to a friend, another collector, Luke, without explanation. When he went to the front door the next morning, the envelope was there, his name written in his own handwriting. Inside, the same Polaroid. Now 7 faces. The new one was his own. Evan dropped the photo. His reflection in the glossy surface looked distorted, as if his mouth were pulled wider than it really was. Panic clawed through his chest. He shoved the photo into the sink, turned on the tap, and scrubbed at it with soap and boiling water. The image didn't fade. If anything, the faces became sharper, their eyes more distinct, alive. He hurled the soaking Polaroid into the trash and backed away. That night, his phone camera clicked by itself, once, twice, again, the sound echoing through the dark apartment. Each time he turned on the light, nothing, but his phone screen flickered with ghostly images. The same yellow house, the same smiling family, his own face slowly fading into transparency. He deleted them. They came back. He tried smashing the Polaroid. It didn't break. The material flexed unnaturally like skin. Sleep was impossible now. He caught glimpses, something shifting and reflections, movements in peripheral vision. At one point, he saw a pale hand press against the inside of the photograph from within, fingertips leaving smudges on the surface. On the 4th night, the humming was replaced by voices whispering his name. They came from behind the photo. He sealed the Polaroid inside a wooden box and locked it in his closet. The voices stopped. For a day. Then came the smell, rot and photochemicals. It seeped through the air vents. By the 5th night, the temperature in his apartment dropped so sharply that his breath fogged. When he turned on the heater, the lights flickered, and all the photo frames on his wall fell at once. Every single one now displayed the same image, the yellow house. He stumbled backwards, his pulse pounding in his ears. The walls began to pulse faintly like veins under pale skin. From the corner of his vision, he caught a glimpse of movement. The smiling family stepping out from the photographs, their faces stretching too wide, skin pale as exposed film. Evan screamed and fled to the bathroom, slamming the door shut. His phone buzzed on the counter. A notification. New photo detected. His gallery showed a live feed. Him standing in the bathroom, eyes wild, and behind him, just over his shoulder, the woman with sunken eyes from the Polaroid. Her grin split ear to ear. The phone slipped from his hands. He didn't look back. He bolted from the apartment, barefoot, into the freezing city night. Neighbors later reported hearing a scream that didn't sound human. When the police arrived, they found the door unlocked, the apartment in perfect order. Only one thing sat on the desk, the Polaroid, propped upright as always. Now there were 8 faces. The last one was Evan, smiling wider than the rest, frozen mid-breath, his eyes still filled with terror. A week later, the Polaroid camera appeared online again. Same listing title, same warning. Do not expose to light. A new collector messaged the seller, curious. They shipped it without hesitation. When the package arrived, the buyer noticed something odd. Faint fingerprints on the inside of the box, as though someone had clawed to get out. The film developed on its own before he even touched it. This time, the image was already complete. 9 figures, perfectly arranged, all smiling. In the back row, the newest addition, a man in his 30s with frightened eyes and a stiff grin that seemed to tremble through the glossy surface. The buyer frowned. "Creepy," he muttered, setting the photo down. He didn't notice the faint hum beginning from inside the room, a woman's voice humming softly, like someone posing for a picture that hasn't yet been taken.